Investor packs, why you need to know how to put those together. Hello, my name's Mark Fitzgerald. It's great to have you joining us here today. So a lot of people out there are doing property deals. Now, whether you are a deal sourcer, whether you're just finding deals for yourself, chances are when it comes to property investing, you will run out of money at some point. That's what normally happens. So it's very, very important to be able to put across an investor pack to people. Why? Because if you're looking at selling deals, you need to show people what the deal is all about, and having a professional looking investor pack is very important for this. But equally, if you're looking at doing the deals for yourself and maybe you just want to get investors involved, people to loan you the money to do these deals, then it is so important again to look professional and put together an investment pack. But a lot of people do say to me, Mark, I'm not 100% sure what should go in my investor pack or how to put one together. So we're going to cover that right here, right now. So first and foremost, you want to have an investor pack looking a bit like a brochure if you can. If you're on a real tight budget, then of course printing one off yourself is okay. But fundamentally, there are some things you can always have in an investor pack, like your company name, your branding, a little bit about you and things like that. So if you can get those a little bit glossier, that is great. Potentially, you could have a pack that opens up that tells you a bit about yourself, a bit about what your background is, your experiences, what you've been doing. And then you can have a sleeve where you can just put the deals of that project in there. So you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money getting a brochure printed out every time you have a deal. But really what it wants to cover in there is a bit about you, describe the topics and the sectors that you are investing in or that you're a professional in. Of course, you want to be looking at your projects and have a project overview describing, the topics and the subjects and the numbers in all of that. You want to have some comparables. If you are selling a deal or whether you're getting an investor involved in one of your deals, what are the comparables in the area? Has anybody done a project like yours before or bought properties like yours before? Chances are they have, of course. So make sure you add the comparables of why you think it's going to be worth this and why you think it's in a good area and things like that. And of course, you want to have a deal analysis in there as well, running through the numbers to make it nice and clear for whoever it is that is actually going to be looking to invest with you. Okay. What you can also do, though, to give it a bit more of a personal touch is maybe add the odd quote in there, something that gives off a bit of wisdom, something that can be a bit inspiring as well, just to make yourself stand out from the crowd. Because if you're looking at a pack and you're going through it and it just tells you the same old thing that everybody else tells you, I always think you should put your personal touch in there, because property investing is very much a business about relationships as it is a business about bricks and mortar. So what should you include about yourself in there? Well, don't go too mad right at the beginning about yourself. Just give it a high level overview. Maybe your experiences, how long you've been investing in property. If you are completely brand new, what did you used to do? Were you, in charge of anything? Did you have some jobs that you've got, that you could take a creditability for or something like that? Everybody has a track record. Everybody wants to obviously get out there and prove to themselves and everybody else that they are a safe pair of hands. So really have a think about this and write down a few, 3 or 4 or 5 different things that you could say that make you creditable, that make it so that people will want to work with you. Do you have a network of resources? Do you know people in the industry as well? But realistically, this is about you. Don't go into, I grew up here, my childhood was here, I went to university here, I did all of this. You can do if you want, but remember one fundamental element of your investor pack is it's not always about you, it's about the investor, their needs, their wants. So whilst they will want to know about you, particularly your background and why you're looking for investment or you're looking to sell deals and things, you want to tell them a little bit about you, a bit about your company, and a bit about your values. What is it that you stand for? What is it that your business, your property business stands for as well? Because a lot of the time, even if you listed off, our top 3 values in my business are, we're a transparent company. We look to work and solve property problems in a win-win ethical manner. And we believe in transparency. We believe in making sure that everybody knows every step of how the process works and what we are doing. Why? Because that is what we stand by. People will read your values and they will sometimes resonate with those, which can really help you get a deal. Okay, so I'd have a bit about yourself there. Then I would look at any recent projects that you've had, any recent deals that you've sold on, anything that you could start to put in there to just give yourself some credibility. Now, if you are completely brand new to this, have some case studies potentially of deals that maybe you haven't done, but you've looked at. These are previous deals that we've looked at and things like that. Don't lie to people and put a load of stuff in there that you've never done. And if you haven't got anything right now, maybe leave that section. Be honest about it. But make sure that you can put that section in later on once you've sold a few deals, once you've worked with a few investors and things, okay? Then after that, let's look at the projects. Let's fundamentally go down to brass tacks, because that's why people are here. They want to know about the projects that you're doing, okay? So what you could actually share is a little bit of experience, potentially trainings that you've done as well. How have you learned how to do this? Well, we spent X amount of time doing this training. We got accredited in this, so we know what we're on about. But your project really wants to be about the area. Now, you might not want to put the full address, of course, if you're looking at selling a deal, because you don't want anybody stealing that deal from you. I understand that. But if you are looking at buying the project yourself, or maybe you already have bought the project, putting the address then isn't a problem. But certainly put the area that you're going to be operating in, the type of property that you're going to be doing deals with. Is it an HMO? Is it a buy-to-let? Is it a serviced accommodation? Is it a commercial property? Is it a plot of land? Those sorts of things. Then I would also potentially look at the prices. So what is the purchase price? Maybe you're getting it below market value, in which case then obviously talk about those things as well. What can you add value to the property? Can you go up into the loft, into the cellar? Can you go out the back or something like that? So how can you potentially be adding a value to the property? The number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, any other features that the property has that stand out for you. The next thing realistically is the opportunity. So we've got the project, but what is the opportunity that you are fundamentally trying to sell to somebody else? Whether it's getting an investor involved, you're still trying to sell to them. So let's have a think about that. Let's have a little think about what is the opportunity and what is the exit strategy. You know, winner, winner, chicken dinner, as I like to say. If everything goes well, if all the stars are aligned, what is the exit strategy? Plan A. But if the market dropped, if something happened, what would be the exit strategy potentially, or the strategy, it doesn't have to be exit strategy, for plan B. Now, you might be looking at holding these properties, doing some work on the property, and then looking to refinance it, pulling out the money and paying off your investor. That is great. That gives them what they want, potentially. They might want to invest with you again as well. But that is like plan A. Plan B would be the market's dropped. We haven't got the valuation that we were anticipating because something's not happened the way it should have, or we just got a down valuation, which can happen all the time. Plan B is we still withdraw this money. You guys get paid first. And from the profits that we make from the month-on-month revenue, we'll pay you back to make sure that A, you get your money back plus the interest term that we provided. That is plan B. Plan C could be we look to hold this for a long term. How long can we hold your money for if we really, really have to keep it into the property? And what would you like on a month-on-month basis? Now, you can have any different strategies you want, any different plans you want as well, but make sure it is clear from the outset those sort of at least two different ways to look at the exits or the strategies that you're going to be doing with the properties to give people peace of mind. Of course, include any photographs you have. Floor plans are always a good one. So maybe you just want to spend a little bit of money and get some decent floor plans drawn up. You can use apps and all sorts to give you measurements and stuff and get out there. And of course, everybody loves a floor plan. Some photographs maybe before and potentially some renditions of what you want it to be afterwards and things. And then you really want to move into comparables in the area. So if you're looking at selling properties, what are the house prices out there? Potentially, screenshot some of the last sold house prices that people were selling things for to sort of give you proof that you know what you're talking about and that these deals stack. Equally to that, if you're looking at adding value to a property, has anybody else done that in the area? What are the valuations of that now? Has anybody else sold anything there? And include, as I say, screenshots, improve real studies in your comparables so that people can look at those and think, oh, okay, that's brilliant. I can see this for myself. Because a lot of people will do their own homework on what they're looking at. I know I do. Somebody hands me, an investor pack. I have a look at it, and then I go and I do some Google searching myself, and I see what I can find. Do you know what I mean? You don't just take everybody's word for it. So do make sure that you're getting out there, that you're making sure that your comparables are proper comparables, everything checks. And then, of course, have a deal analysis worked out. Basically, a deal analysis that breaks everything down, including a summary and description of what is going on. Okay, so like your purchase price. So what is the purchase price? What is the mortgage going to be on the property? Is there stamp duty to pay on that? Of course, legal fees, 25% deposit that you'll pay there, refurbishment costs, any sourcing fees, if there is a sourcing fee included, include everything, total costs that will be there, and of course, a brief description and summary of that. Then, of course, let's look at the cash flow. If you're looking at holding on to the property, what is the cash flow for the investor? What is the cash flow for you if it's your deal? Market rents in the area. Let's have some comparisons to see this, the top end, the middle, and maybe the bottom as well. Annual rent totals that it can be expecting. And monthly expenses as well, insurances, bills, utilities, anything like that, potentially agent fees if somebody's managing it for them, and mortgage fees as well. And base those percentages potentially off of 4, 5, 6% when you're doing the mortgage ones. But realistically, find out what the market's doing right now and then have an average there, because it might not be precisely right. And just make sure that people understand that this is, all of these numbers are subject to when you do the contract and could change slightly. Okay. And if, of course, they want the most up to date, then you can give them the most up to date. But this pack might be a month old, and maybe you're still going through trying to find somebody to work with on this. If that's the case, then of course, interest rates or anything like that might have changed slightly over that time. But finish this bit off with the return of investment, the ROI. Okay, your monthly net profit, your annual net profit as well. But what is the ROI on this deal? And of course, that will really then show people that you know what you're doing and that you're getting out there. Investment packs can be so powerful when set up and done correctly. And it is very, very important that you never lie when you're doing an investor pack, that you just use the facts to know yourself that this is a good deal. Unfortunately, out there at the moment, we get a lot of investor packs put our way, and they're just not fit for purpose. When you actually do your own research, you can find that they've elevated the numbers. They try to make things as if everything was top price. The rooms were going to go for the absolute maximum, even though these rooms wouldn't be maximums on an HMO, or the valuation is overinflated after the deal has been done, and they haven't quite got the costs right. I see that all the time as well, because a lot of people who deal source and things don't actually know how those strategies work and what the actual costs are on those as well. See that a lot on SA, whereas people just go on to Airbnb, booking.com, they go for the maximum rents, maybe the weekend rents, they base everything on the nightly rates there, and then of course people will actually get the deals and find out that they're not making any money. That's not going to be you, because you're going to go through that and you're going to make these the best possible deals out there for people. If the deal doesn't stack when you're doing your investor pack, it's not a deal that you want to be putting out there and trying to sell to people. Remember, it's your reputation that's on the line when you're doing investor packs, when you're selling deals, when you're getting investors involved. So make sure that you do good deals, of course, but make sure that your investor packs look the part as well. And of course, don't overthink it. These will be packs that get better over time, that you think, oh, I might add this, I might change that, I might do this. And that's brilliant as well. Don't overthink it. Just have something to be able to hand people if they're interested. If somebody's interested in working with you, you can hand them what looks like a professional investor pack, which if they do their own due diligence, they concur with the numbers and everything that you've put there, you're onto a winner. You will find investors to work with. You will be able to sell deals if that's what you're looking to do, and you will be able to build your property business successfully. Hope this episode's helped you. I've enjoyed you joining me here, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Take care, and bye for now.